Hey there, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? It is Saturday, January 14th, 2023, 11/11. It's one more Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just do this because I know he's in the middle of something fun. Gary Lambert in the house. Come on, one more Saturday night. One more Saturday night. One more from Sandwich. He's in Sandwich. Woo!
Am I here?
Nice. Ah, you are.
Yeah,
You
the
are.
old. I just barely made it, but here I am.
So is the show at halftime?
No, the show is almost in the home stretch. They came out of drums and we're playing Cumberland Blues but I said in this beautiful reality I can pause things and return later.
Oh, well, we'll do a short show so you can get back to it quick.
Or I can watch it tomorrow. This is the beautiful thing. It's like if only real shows were like that,
Right?
You wouldn't miss a thing.
We always think that, well, I'll just go for a while, and then you realize when you leave, you go, wait, I missed that part.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, it was, the boys didn't have a lot of rust on them. It sounded pretty good. And everybody seems pretty happy. And they something interesting happened though. In like the second song of the second set, suddenly Mickey wasn't there and Jay Lane was. Now you may recall that at the end of the 2019 tour, or 2020, whatever tour it was, at the end of that tour, Billy had some health problems. And then on the last tour, he had some intermittent health problems, and Jay was there all the time as kind of the stunt double or the relief pitcher or something. This time, though, it was Mickey, but it was a very brief absence. He was gone for like a couple. Maybe it was just a bladder problem or something. We don't know. But Mickey came back, and then on drums, when the drum part of the drums happened, they had not just Mickey, Bill, and Jay, O'Teal, and Isaac Adey from Tedeschi Trucks, and he's also been in the recent edition of Mickey's Planet Drum, and Wally Ingram. So they had like hella drummers up there for the drums tonight. Wow. That was really cool. And speaking of special guests, in the first set, they did Ramble on Rose with Wynonna Judd, which was, Bobby and Wynonna connected a year or so ago, and he actually showed up at a couple of gigs of hers and played with her, and she recorded a single of Ramble on Rose, which is really, really good. And then this past week, the Mexico thing is just, everyone's got an event in Mexico now. So Brandy Carlisle had this thing called Girls Just Wanna Weekend, which looked spectacular. Brandy, Wynonna, Lucius, a whole bunch of great women artists, Sarah Bareilles. And so Bobby
Jenna Mammina though, so whatever.
Well, whatever. These things happen in increments. You know how that is. But whatever. You're just their best friend that they haven't met yet down there. That's all. So Bobby was already in Mexico, so he showed up and sat in with Wynonna.
Oh, cool.
And then there was a picture I saw. I don't know what song with it, but there was like Bobby, Wynonna, and Brandy, which is just like would send me right into heaven. So that was was pretty. The musical worlds are converging, and we started the started the halftime shows tonight. I had technical problems from here. Probably caused on my end. We'll get to the bottom of it. It's fixable, but we did pre-record our interview with O'Teal yesterday, so we had him on, and that was a good. It's good to have that kind of backup thing. So we're pre-recording all our interviews just so disaster won't ensue. And
So
O'Teal
you're
was great.
pre-recording all the halftime interview. Are
Yeah,
you integrating this into the halftime?
Yeah, we come on live at the start of halftime, and then we throw it to the interview that we recorded. And we got a couple more interviews we're going to do over the weekend, and then those will get plugged in, and then we come back and we throw it back to the stage. So that's the best way to do it, because it's pretty chaotic at halftime at a real show, and actually hustling a musician backstage halftime is just it's cumbersome for the people who have to be the cat herders on that enterprise. So that worked out great. O'Teal, this is another thing that's happening in music, is people going to Iceland to make records. Iceland has become this musical mecca. There's
Place to hang out.
a beautiful place to hang out, and it's a fantastic. They've apparently got a few fantastic recording studios there, and it's Joe Russo just made a record there with some people, and O'Teal is putting out an album of him singing all Garcia and Hunter ballads.
Wow.
Which is going to be so gorgeous, because he sings the ballads so beautifully.
Wow, he's so
and
had such a peaceful.
Yeah, and he said something. He said being in that whole Scandinavian atmosphere was perfect. His intention for this album, and this just hit me right in the heart. He said he wants to make an ECM Grateful Dead album, like in that ECM records, style of beautiful stillness and silences, and not a rock record, not a Dead cover album, but
I'm all about it. Space
so
and place.
yeah, so that I can't wait for that record to come out. And so that's been my weekend so far.
How lovely.
Yeah.
How lovely. And so now they have one more night or two more nights?
They have, well, the pattern for these playing in the sand things has always been for the band to play 3 nights, and they have a guest band play another night. So tomorrow night it's Goose, who I know you are fond of. And so they are doing the second night. The Deadco take that night off, and then they play again Monday and Tuesday to wrap things up. So, and they just got announced for Jazz Fest.
I know.
They're headlining the second weekend of Jazz Fest. So I think that means I've got to go to Jazz Fest. Yeah. So I'm already hatching that scheme in my head.
Yeah, so they're going to need you there.
Absolutely. It can't happen without me. That's so not true. But anyway,
they need me there.
That's right. So yeah, so it's been fun. And let me see, since I last saw, I saw Carla Kilstead. I was about to do that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was so sweet.
I bet.
Drove down to Woods Hole and hung. It was a brief hang, because she puts her kids to bed pretty early. Although Matthias, God bless him, took care of most of the kid wrangling. So Carla and I had a good bit of time after dinner to hang and talk. And she's just the best. For those who don't know, Carla Kilstead is an absolutely brilliant violinist, composer, singer, just musical thinker. She's got a lot of deep stuff going on, and I've known her for close to 30 years now. Yeah. About the same, just about as long as I've known you, I think. I met her in mid-90s, and she's been part of my musical community and part of my music, but I had not seen her in years, so this was very, very sweet. And she turned me on to something that I think will change the course of my life. After the kids were off to bed, she said it in almost this conspiratorial way. She said, okay, now the kids are gone. And she got out some vanilla ice cream, put it in bowls, and topped it with salted dark chocolate tahini.
Nice. I've had it. I haven't had the combination, but I've had the salted caramel tahini, and now
Yeah.
I can see it with the ice cream. Heck yeah.
And dark
Standing
chocolate.
ovation, Carla.
Oh man. It's this brand called Soom, Soom, and I've got to get my hands on some very soon. I mean soon.
They used to sell it. It might still be a product on Imperfect Foods, and maybe that's where she first got turned on
It
to it.
could be, and I looked up their website right away, and some Whole Food stores have it, and some. I think Carla's a local place down near where she lives, on so I'll
Yeah,
get that.
Imperfect was on there along with this maple honey that was really good. But they were in,
Mhm.
did you ever do Imperfect Foods is like where the banana type
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. I have never done the perfect foods. I will when I'm settled in a place to actually live. Perhaps I will.
Okay, so you're in Sandwich.
I'm
You're in
still
Sandwich.
a
Still in
sandwich.
Sandwich. Have you had a sandwich this week?
Uh, I must have at some point. Um, I made myself a tuna sandwich the other night. I've had several sandwiches, I'm sure. Today I just had we had pizza. There's a 10-year-old staying at the house tonight. A niece, I think, or a niece, daughter of some niece somewhat removed from one of my hosts. And so having a 10-year-old in the house, of course, we had to bring in
Gotta have
pizza.
pizza.
It was a
Hi,
pizza
Brent.
kind of night.
Huh?
Uh, but
Because
so
you can make a sandwich out of pizza.
Of course, you can make a sandwich out of it. And pizza is bread after all.
Yeah.
So
Little
yeah,
slice of pizza here, little slice of pizza here, and a bunch of cheese in the middle.
right.
Nice sandwich.
Yeah.
So, any news?
I think, and I always put this in terms of I think, because I feel like I know nothing in this real estate madness. We have signed, there was an amendment to the contract,
Okay.
which doesn't really affect us at all. It just moves money around for the buyer to be able to take care of some things. And that amendment just got signed by all parties. And
Cool.
I think that is the last obstacle to closing. I think it is. I mean, I think the mortgage lender has approved everything, and it's just a matter of everything being signed off on. And so
It's happening.
in a perfect world, we could have a closing date. We won't close on Tuesday because it's usually a few days after to get the parties all in the same place. Although you don't have to be physically in the same place because of electronic signing, but you certain things have to be arranged. But I'd be so happy if I open my email on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday, and it was there. So I'm looking toward that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And then you'll stay. The plan right now. Hi, Mama Grace. The plan right now is you are in Sandwich until
Um.
you can stay in Sandwich indefinitely.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, both for the sake of my friends and both for the sake of being so remote from the action. But although it's beautiful here, I mean, I could stay if I was here really on vacation, I could stay here a really long time, but I don't feel like I'm on vacation. So I will probably, as soon as I know this is a done deal and the deal is closed, I will probably head back down to the city or closer to it so I can start the serious apartment hunt. Yeah. Mhm.
So I have to ask, do you have any plans for next Saturday night, just in case things happen?
Next Saturday night is way up in the air, but if I'm anywhere where the technical wherewithal is there and I am at repose at, if not 11 o'clock, maybe 11 minutes after, just to pick a number randomly, if all things fall into place and the stars are properly aligned, I would very much like to be on 11:11 with Jenna.
11:11 with Jenna.
And Gary,
11:11 with Jenna.
Gary Lambert,
11:11 with Jenna.
Gary Lambert.
11:11.
it just occurred to me.
What?
It's entirely possible the Dead and Company are playing One More Saturday Night right now. But I can't really ascertain
Go,
that because it's in the other
go,
room.
go,
You
go.
know what? Keep me on.
Okay,
Just watch the empty chair. You vamp.
okay,
You talk to the people.
okay.
It'd be great if they were playing that right now.
One more Saturday night. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So fun. I used to go to other Wilco down in Mexico. Who else did I see down in Mexico? Little Feet, Derek, kind of some fun stuff that's near that same bed, and in Jamaica. Fun stuff in Jamaica and in Mexico. Yeah, kids. So Gary is the halftime person for the Grateful Dead. He and David Gans do the halftime, and he's going to see if they're playing One More Saturday Night right this very second. I'm so excited. It's as if we were there. But he's in Sandwich, I'm in St. Joe, Williams in Kalamazoo, Suzanne's in Washington, Whidbey Island, Brent, Kalamazoo, Julie, Luce, Fresno, Mama Grace, right there. Who else is here? Yeah, core group, for sure. So tomorrow morning, I'll be in bed. Join me in bed. Jump on the show. I'll be live in bed, so you can jump on. And tomorrow night is Sunday night shoe stories. So jump on if you have a pair of shoes. I think Suzanne, you were planning on coming on to jump on and talk about some shoes. Monday morning movement. Monday night up in the air. Meditation, jokes, movies. Tuesday morning movement. Hey, and there was a cloud. Yeah, there was a meteor or comet that was supposedly going by. Getting an here he is.
And wouldn't you know it, they just went into One More Saturday Night. So, they're aware of our presence.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about us. So
Mhm.
there is a comet. Good night from Indiana Stone. There's an Indiana Stonehenge. It's called Browning Hill, but there is a comet happening, but not at 11:11.
There's an
But
Indiana Stonehenge.
yeah, it's called Browning Hill. Stay
Wow.
up to watch the rare green comet shooting across tonight's sky. It was last seen 50,000 years ago. The once-in-a-lifetime celestial event will take place around 11 p.m., so it's happening right now. There's an entire cosmos filled with unimaginable discoveries, but every now and then these phenomena pass through our night sky. It's green. It will shoot across the sky, closest to the sun tonight, but still visible to Earth. Come February 1st, the comet will be closer to our planet, a mere 28 million miles away.
Right in the neighborhood.
Don't have the stargazing equipment handy, you can tune into the Virtual Telescope Project's live stream. So there's a live stream happening right now. Let me grab that and post it. Copy.
Another surprising thing in Indiana, in addition to a Stonehenge, is the
What?
Indiana Dunes.
Oh,
The Indiana
As-
Dunes, right, like on the shore of Lake Michigan. There are these incredible sand. It's like a national recreation area or something like that. I have been to the
Yeah.
Indiana Dunes, and it kind of blew my mind to see dunes in Indiana because it's not what you would expect.
well, the dunes about 12 minutes from here are Warren Dunes,
Uh-huh.
which is equal to what you're talking about there. There's Sleeping Bear Dunes up north in Michigan and Warren Dunes. Google Warren Dunes.
I will.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
I'm
next-
fat.
maybe
I'm
this summer we
fascinated by
can,
the whole concept of dunes in the Midwest. Is it's a cognitive dissonance,
Oh.
if you will.
Sleeping Bear Dunes, unbelievable. But Warren
Yeah.
Dunes is this big, they call it Tower Hill, and you have to climb up it. And hi, Rob, 3 feet of snow up, and I'll up that way,
Rob Baraka.
So they're playing One More Saturday Night. They knew we were on. That's so cool.
Well,
Guys, go
of course.
outside and look for the comet.
Yeah, they timed it. They timed it perfectly. It's for us to say one more
Comet, One More Saturday
more
Night.
Saturday. Yeah.
Jazz, all I know is I had oh, Suzanne had a lover in Indiana.
That's
From
lovely.
Indiana. She was from Indiana, not in
Oh,
Indiana.
it didn't take place in Indiana.
It
A
seemed
lover from Indiana. Um, I know some people from Indiana. No lovers though.
Have you
Let's
ever had a sandwich in Indiana?
I think the only meal I ever had in Indiana was breakfast just in the midst of a cross country trip. Stopped at a truck stop, uh, had breakfast. Um, I remember that the big hit on this was 1968, so the big hit on the jukebox at the time was Harper Valley PTA. That got played several times while I was there. But I played the only Otis Redding song on the jukebox, and yeah, it being a
Did the
very
place stop? Did
pe-
everybody?
pe- people were a little taken aback that Harbor Valley PTA was interrupted by
Mhm.
Otis Redding.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, Gary.
I'm excited for me.
Next 2 weeks of your life, it's going to be a totally different trip.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe you'll go on vacation.
I once that's under my belt, well, maybe I'll go to Jazz Fest.
Jazz Fest.
I think Jazz Fest is in my destiny this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to a wedding. I don't know about Jazz Fest this year. My cousin's
Mm,
getting married, and I have some other gigs. I have a big gig in Sonoma in April, and then George Booth's memorial is
all
in
right.
April, and then my cousin's wedding is in April. So I might just do. I think the lover was from Indiana, but they didn't have an affair in Indiana. She was
Right.
just from Indiana.
Yeah, yeah.
Claudia was trying to.
I get it.
Um, so it might just be second weekend for me.
Okay, well, second weekend is when the guys are playing. Um, I'll have to figure things out. I'm going to be out at Ventura probably for that Skull and Roses
All right.
Festival, which is April 19th through 23rd. So that will not interfere with either weekend of Jazz Fest. We'll see. We'll just have
I
to see.
talked with Fat Dog yesterday, and
Oh, cool.
he's going to be there. I think first weekend because he messed. I just want to make sure you're going to be down there, and I said I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm still a little, as much as I love being there both weekends,
Yeah,
and I say it every year. Oh, I might just go down for the first weekend, and people are like,
yeah,
"What are you talking about? You're just be there." So
yeah.
we'll see.
It's pretty, and I mean, being there for the whole thing is pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
What I did was,
And I'm working the whole time.
yeah, I went a couple of days before the first weekend started and then stayed several days into the next week, but I didn't stay for the second weekend. And that was plenty. I was pretty worn out after all that. Yeah.
A lot of people usually you talk to them after the second weekend and they've lost their voice or they don't feel well. And this past year, we were there. I was singing a lot of the time with my mask on,
Right.
socially distanced from everybody in the room, and we'll see if it happens this year. Great, and if it doesn't, it's been a great run, and I'm doing that other thing. And actually, the Portland, Maine thing is pretty happening. Did I send you the poster for that?
I saw it without you sending it to me. I saw it in on Facebook or somewhere. It looks really cool.
Yeah, you might want to come on up.
I'll have to see. Like again, my schedule will be determined by circumstances not entirely under my control.
I get it.
We'll figure it out. But is Jeff Metzger in Mexico? I forget. Did he go?
He may have.
Oh, okay. Was he with you?
Maybe not because he had surgery, but he
Oh.
did say to me, he hasn't messaged me. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe he did not go because he had surgery and on his eyes.
I see. All right.
And I think he would have sent us a photo.
Oh, I think so. Well, hi, Jeff, wherever you are.
Jeff Metzger. Yeah, he wasn't here today. He took last week and this week off.
Okay. Oh,
And
because
same-
of his thing.
I mean, the Hawks, the Niners beat the Hawks today. So
Yes. So that's true. All I saw of that game was the score toward the end when the Niners were way up. So yeah,
pretty much not so
pretty
great.
decisive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, what are you doing tomorrow? What's the day tomorrow?
well, tomorrow the boys don't play,
Okay.
so I don't have to do that thing, but I do the radio show, and we'll be talking about this a lot. We'll be talking about Mexico a lot and other developments, and yeah, it's there's always plenty to talk about.
Cool. Well, have a blast. I'm gonna jump
will.
off and I'm gonna go see if there's a green comet. It's really clear
Okay.
here. It's cold. It's 30 degrees. I went for a walk today and about half a mile in, I went, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. It was today was I think maybe the coldest day since I got here, and it was really windy. It didn't rain really hard, but it was really windy.
But I have a feeling I might see something out there, so I'm gonna go jump out there.
I hope so.
I mean, I have a little bit of a green hue, so maybe it's sending through the window right now, which is why everything's a little green. So,
All right. Well,
all right,
you can report back to us
okay.
because
Thank you, Gary Lambert. Because
thank you,
what?
Jenna Mammina.
Because what?
Well, you can report back to us because you've got this outlet to report to people. It's called 1111 with Jenna.
And then I did post the live telescope broadcast in the feed.
Oh, great.
So.
Excellent.
Suzanne thinks you're a wiggly guy.
Wiggly?
Are you wiggly?
Probably.
I never thought of you as a wiggly guy.
I'm a little fidgety. I would say fidgety. I move around a lot.
I had a friend, Rex, that my brother used to say Rex, or my dad would say it because he moved around a lot. My dad would say that Rex wore his clothes out from the inside out.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
He was always moving, always dancing. Big old
there was a guy who was like a long running, like a 13-day champion on Jeopardy recently named Ray Lalonde from Canada. And he moved around a lot, and
he was a bit fidgety, wasn't he?
And you know how people on the internet are. They were like giving him crap. They said, "Oh, he's trying to distract or psych out the other players." And it turned out he had like a serious spinal injury years ago, and that he gets these spasms if he doesn't move.
So that's great. Grace and I wondered. We knew something.
Yeah,
I knew he had some kind of
if he stands on his feet too long and stands still, he could just seize up, and so it was not a contrivance or a nervous habit. It was like really the way
he have a thing.
But I really liked him. He was a good champion.
He was good, and he had a lot of people that were competing against him.
Well, first he had a string of runaways, and then he had several incredibly close ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting, the dynamic of his championship. I also really liked his voice.
Are you a normal Jeopardy watcher?
I go through phases, like I used to watch it constantly, then I fell off, and then I would I'd get a bunch of them on the DVR and kind of binge them. And now since I've been in other people's houses, I've been watching it pretty regularly because they watch it.
They watch it. Right.
And I really I liked Ray Lalonde. He was cool.
Yeah, he was.
Anyway.
Go outside, or they might still be playing, or do you think that
they're playing the encore of Ripple right now? I can hear it from the other room.
All right.
But I will report more next week because I will have more shows under my belt and all that, and maybe I'll be looking for a house. I don't know where I'll be next week, but I will try to be.
Right here.
Right here.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Gary.
Love you.
I love you too.
Real hard.
Hard.
Good night.
Good night.